Hey guys, back with another Kefla Surge deck profile. I've been wanting to release this video anyway because I have updated the Kefla deck that I'd already done a profile on, the deck that I run at Nats. But it turns out that profile is very popular, so I figured I'd better get this out there. I was just waiting because I bought some new cards for it and I had to wait for them to come in the mail because I didn't want to just talk about them and not show them. And speaking of Kefla, if you are a fan of Kefla, I have in the works a new episode of The Art Of, which is a series I've just done one video of so far and I want to continue doing it. Videos that talk about card art and my favourite art and just really go into depth into that. So I'm going to do one on Kefla cards because I like Kefla cards. Alright, so let's get into the new deck profile. It's vaguely the same. It's got the same ideas behind it, and I've just made it a little bit more fun. Got rid of the stuff that I put in specifically for Nationals because I was worried about, whatever meta deck. And now it's just a good Kefla deck. And it is a similar strategy, or it's more or less the same strategy. And in the future, I think I will do like a fusion-based strategy or maybe a Awakened Sisters strategy. But this one is the same where you're playing 15k beaters and you're drawing as much as possible to make up for the leader's lack of draw. So the first new change is a very good change. We have the alt art from Mythic Booster. Thank God. The original art sucked. And then we have, once again, 4 unisons. Hit, of course, he is integral. And then our first free play option is Kefla. And our second free play option is Kale. And then, hopefully, turn 2, we will play this as our energy because we'll have a Universe 6 on board and we'll be able to put this untapped into our energy. So ideally, turn 1, you play Kefla. Turn 2, you charge hit, you pay 2 energy for hit, the unison, and then you play Kale for free. When Kale attacks, she will untap an energy at the start of your opponent's next main phase. And that should give you what you need to defend your unison because generally good opponents will target your unison because they see what you're doing. Next up, we just have a little bit of extra 15k beta. This is a cauliflower. Most of her effect doesn't work because our leader isn't Kale, but we can pay 1 energy to play her and draw a card when we do. So that's okay. Obviously, we can't play her for free, but this is for later on in the game. And then we have 2 Cabas, Saiyan Pride, and this is because smart players will not let you get down to 4 life until they're ready to go for game. They'll read your leader and they'll say, oh, you can't do anything at 5 life, I'll leave you at 5 life. So if you just need that little bit of self-awakening, you can use Kaba. 2 Slugs, which I experimented taking Slug out and putting in 2 of this hit because we're running the multicolor hit. It's cute, it's fun, but it really clunked me. Those 10k combos was a bit dead in hand. And then rounding off that round of cards, we have the monkeys for draw apes. Pretty important for this deck because we have no draw card. Now we have arrival cards. 3 Vegeta and Kaba. Now this isn't truly a arrival card, but it basically is. 2 Kaba Proud Zenith. And Kaba is pretty cool because if you play him in your turn, he also works as a draw ape in a way. He draws 2 if you play him in your turn. Otherwise, he'll untap an energy if you play him in your opponent's turn, which will mean it only costs 2 effectively. And you get to bottom deck 1 just like Vegeta and Kaba does. And of course, our main heavy hitter for Super Saiyan 2 Kefla Lightning Speed. And we run her at 4 because of her activate main, which is to drop a card from your hand and give this dual attack, and if it's a copy of itself, you also draw 2 cards. For the secret rare, I have gone for Pan. I think I could go Radiant Saiyans and I could go Vegito, Power of Katara, but Pan is just a solid secret rare. It's playable in this deck and it's good defensive and you get a 40k hit, and depending on what you're versing, you get to steal something good. For super combos, we have 4 Zamasu, and that's for 2 reasons. 1, it helps our rivals, and 2, our leader can get multicolor cards back. So effectively, if you use your leader ability and get 3 back, you've got 7 super combos in this deck. Now for defense, we have 3 God Ceilings, And this is another update that wasn't available to me until Mythic Booster released because they're a little bit hard to come by. I only had one copy originally. We can now play Bardock's Surge of Inspiration, which is good in the Surge deck because it is a counter attack, negate the attack, play this card. And then when you are using your leader's Awakened Surge ability, you can use this card from your battle area. So that saves you from losing a card in hand. For Dimension Magic, very important, we are not running Sensu Beans, so Dimension Magic is how we are untapping energy. Obviously, Kale untaps energy as well, so Kale will attack, and then on that turn, when you need to defend your Unison while he's still vulnerable, you can Dimension Magic, and then you can use Bardock. Next up is 4 copies of Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, and I have gone for 4 copies because comboing in this deck can start to hurt, even with all the extra draw power I've tried to throw in with the Unison, with the Draw Apes, and so on. It still hurts when you have to combo a lot, and then your hand can start getting very empty. So Kamehameha has 15k, activate battle, 15k boost, so that's worth 3 combos in most occasions. And then finally, just as a cute little bit of why not, we got a Frost's Deadly Poison, which can come in clutch sometimes if you save it for the right moment. So that's my new version of Kefla Surge. What do you guys think? Do you think it's better than what I ran at Nats? And is there anything you would do differently? Let me know in the comments. And if you are interested in that Kefla art video I've got coming up, make sure you hit subscribe because I'm going to put a little bit of extra polish on it, so it won't be ready this week, but I'm looking forward for you guys to see it because I love Kefla, I love talking about Kefla, so hopefully you do as well. Check that out and I'll see you then.